Hey, it's your boy, Sergeant Hooked on Henshins. So today we are reviewing episode 13 of Kamen Revice. This is another solid episode. They've been on a streak of a few episodes in a row that have been really, really good. Personally, I've enjoyed the whole series so far, but the last 3, 4 episodes have been just like boom, 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 right with each other story wise, like all of them usually are, but also like a really nice continuous like jump in quality. Um, So of course last week we had the whole thing, and spoilers going forward with this, of course, because it's the review slash recap. But um, so last week we had Comrade Jean's debut, which I've talked about in that review. That I loved Jean's debut. I loved her suit. I love Sakura accepting her weakness and knowing that she can still be strong even though she is also weak. All of that good stuff. Very much so had a flavor of Banjo's first henshin into Cross. Um, so this was a really good episode too. So the main focus of this one was really cool. So we find out that there's this like Phoenix sky base, and it kind of looks like a helicarrier. And there's a lot of Marvel vibes to this one because they talk about basically a thing that's like the um, what's it called? The one jail thing that they talk about, the raft. There we go. Similar to that, where they have it's basically a rehabilitation center for people that used the Vice stamps to make sure that they're okay, make sure they're not going to do it again, blah blah blah. We also keep focusing on the fact that the one lawyer guy from a few episodes ago is still there. He's still quite evil. um, so that's the main focus of the episode. And that on the one side of it, the one plot side of it is the dead man's realizing they need to get their sacrifices in order to bring about GIF, and that there's a level above this level 2 form that they become when they're the dead man monsters called a Giftex or something like that. And if I'm not mistaken, the one Planaria guy is already a Giftex, I think. Um, and they need 5 more basically, and so they're working on that. And so it also actually starts off kind of funny with Iki and Daiji and Sakura posing together for a photo as the Igarashi siblings because now they're all Kamen Riders. And George gives some more information on her driver, saying it was a prototype driver he never finished, and that he's not sure how she got it, and she's not even sure who sent it. So it's very interesting how that worked out and who finished it and all that. Um, and also he's working on a new power up item, the Buried Rex little power up, little egg, little T Rex egg thing for Iki, and that it needs some time because he has to use the other 10 stamps to power it up and give it its power and like activate it. And so throughout the episode, we see him trying to do it, and he's trying to get 90%, and the T Rex stamp is given its power, and then it just phases out, doesn't do anything. Um, and it's like incomplete basically. So there's that part of it. And Vice talking more about like wanting to be free and wanting to help. That now that Hiromi in the last episode, the demons driver kind of went haywire, that they'll need extra help, and he can only ever help when Iki transforms. And Iki's like, yeah, I know. And he's trying to get to the topic of let me be physical, have a physical form. Last time he allowed that, he nearly ate his mom. So, but anyway, so there's an attack on the Phoenix Skybase thing, and at the same time they send some other like goons to fight Daiji and Sakura to like basically lead them away, so there's less troops there, so that they can attack the base and get some of the people out that they need. Um, and they're successful. Daiji and Sakura transform together, really cool, and Sakura's like smiling the whole time. I thought that was really cool. She's so happy to finally be a part of things and finally help. Um, I would guess it's assumed that she signed a contract to be part of Phoenix now. I guess be a Phoenix contracted rider. I don't know, but so they fight together, um, and during the fight, I'm not sure if it's the Chameleon Deadman that does this, or if it's one of the other like Oteka or Julio, but one of them hits Daiji pretty hard and like damages him a little bit, like knocks him out of his transformation, and Kagero takes back over. So it seems to be the shtick for now is when he gets like a lot of damage, Kagero takes back over. So John realizes this, Sakura, and she actually is given the Kujaku Vice stamp, and uses it, and it turns Lovkov into a which I love Lovkov, by the way. Oh my god, little goofy plush little snake thing, into her weapon. It turns it into fans. These like the bladed fans. Use that to fight Daiji has evil, Comrade Evil. Um, and finally does a rider kick, and because George tells him, "Hey, do a rider kick, boom, it'll get him out of there." So anyway, They revert Kagero back to Daiji. He says thank you. At the same time, Iki is trying to help, but he can't do a whole lot because he can't transform. So they go back to George, and George is almost done with the transformation, the new item, power up item. And this time also, Hiromi's trying to help. He's keeping Lovecop safe. He's like, I will lay down my life. It means protecting her. And but he can't do much, so he's just like fighting kind of just normally hand to hand and with like his little Phoenix gun. It's kind of sad. I hope that we're not going to get the idea that like because he doesn't have a demon in him anymore, because he got it in the first episode, the T-Rex demon thing, that he can't transform with the demon's driver for very long, or it'll kill him or something like that. I hope that's not what we're going for. I don't know for sure what we're doing with that, and we've not gotten a full explanation on that. We've gotten a lot of really good exposition and explanation on how the two-side driver works and how the Revice driver works, but we need a little bit more on the Libera driver, Liberty driver, whatever you want to call it, and the demon's driver for sure. It seems that the demon's driver is predicated on the fact that the person using it doesn't have a demon, and so it's utilizing the stamps to create a faux demon power for them. So, anyway, so that's all really good stuff. And kind of the apex of the episode is Iki and Vice are with George, and he needs to power up the stamp. It's not working, the Barade stamp. And Vice tells him, hey, I know that you don't trust me, but I promise you, like, you've had an effect on me, Iki. You've taught me, and I see things differently. I want to protect things like you, but I can only do so much being, a ghost, basically. Give me a physical form, and I'll help you. I'll do what I can. Just please give me this chance. And Iki at first doesn't want to do that. Throughout the episode, he keeps asking him. He's like, no. And finally, they have this moment, and Iki's like, you know what? You have learned a lot. Yes, you started out really bad, but you've learned a lot to wanting to protect people, being concerned about my safety, Sakura, Daiji, my family. I'm going to give you a shot. And so he does it. He takes the T-Rex stamp and brings out Vice into a physical form. I don't know if he's going to stay in a physical form for the rest of the series, but right now he is. Don't know if they're going to also touch on again the whole disappearing Iki from the picture thing again, but he does. And doing that releases the full power of the T-Rex stamp into the Barade Rex little stamp thing, and activates it. Gets a little crack on it that it has because it's an egg. And so they take that with them, and they are fighting the dead man's there. And I think it's Oteka and Julio, I'm pretty sure, because I don't think they fight Chameleon very much. But anyway, we also talk about there's some kind of traitor in Phoenix, and we've got to figure out who it is. People think it's George, but we'll get to that in a minute. So, doing our thing, they're fighting and everything, and they finally used Barade Rex. It's super cool. It's his ice-based form. It's this like upgraded, armored version of Revi. It looks really nice. The thumbnail will show you what it looks like, but gosh dang, does it look nice. But it's cool. So he like presses the button on it, and then he Rex stamps on top of it, then puts it in and transforms, and it just gives him power. Doesn't do anything for Vice. Vice even tells George, he's like, George, what the heck? Like, where's my part of it? I look the same. Oh, your power is on hold right now. He said, it's like, why is that? Because you made fun of my jackal genome, so yours is on hold. But George is just like always antagonistic towards Vice. But he's right. Vice was a dick about the genome, the jackal genome X81. Anyway, so when he transforms though, he breaks out of this egg thing and all the pieces are on the ground. Vice, my man, picks up, he doesn't let it affect him. He picks himself up, he picks up the pieces of the egg that shattered out of the transformation, glues them back, he pulls out super glue out of, I don't know, his butt or something, and glues the pieces back together to make egg pieces into a shield. So there you go, he has that at least. I'm assuming we're going to also get like a separate power-up form for him to go alongside Barade Rex, because I guess the Barade Rex item itself, the gimmick item, has like a slot on the side of it. So I wonder if that's going to be something for Vice, maybe something fire-based to go fire and ice together. Nobody really knows right now. So they fight together, and they end up pushing back Oteka and Julio, and I think the Chameleon Dead Man at some point is in there doing his thing, and then he kind of leaves. But the Deadmans are able to take some of the people they needed for the sacrifices or whatever. They get the lawyer. He's going to next episode have the Saber-Tooth Tiger stamp. But at the end of the episode, we see the Deadman's like commander guy or whatever. And I always have been thinking that like it's possible he's mad, but he ends up changing into the Chameleon Deadman. So I don't know if that means it's really him, or if he is like being held captive and it's somebody making themselves look like him because it's chameleon, so maybe he can change what he looks like, whatever. It's not made clear, but it's not George as far as we can tell. And I would think that if it was the commander and he was a dead man, that I would think George would have somehow known, be able to detect that in some way, or maybe now he'll develop some technology, some sensors to detect, dead man energy or dead man DNA or something like that. But yeah, so we revealed that I think he's the traitor. Um, I believe the lawyer in the next episode with the saber-tooth tiger stamp looks like he's attacking Iki's dad. So, oh god, please don't do that. We're almost near Christmas. Please, please don't. We don't need a repeat Vexade. um, but yeah, overall, this is a great episode. We get to see a really good dynamic between finally just Daiji and Sakura. Now that he's starting to sort of accept her as a rider. And her being able to move past the whole I'm weak and blah 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 and be like, you know what, my weakness is my strength and blah blah blah, and she's like really like sure of herself, and I like that. Not too sure, but sure of herself. Family interactions are really good. Iki's interactions, everybody are good, and especially Iki and Vice's interactions. I'm really getting a nice connection with them. It's not quite at the level of Eiji and Ankh, but I think they're trying to move it toward that. And I think they're gonna. I always think that throughout the whole series, Vice is still going to be comedic and funny, but I don't think that's going to that's going to continue to overshadow anything else. Sometimes it gets to be too much, but I think they're going to pull back a tiny bit on that, like 10%, just so they can have like start really forming this nice bond with him and everybody else. But yeah, it was a really great debut for the form. For the Bari Rex form, I really liked it. I really like the suit. I like the attacks with it, the ice, aesthetic with it. Poor Vice picking up the pieces and forming the shield. I loved the Kujaku like bladed fans for Sakura was really cool. So overall, I probably would honestly give this episode a 10 out of 10. It really moved a lot of plot lines forward. It really introduced a couple new ones. Bringing back the lawyer guy I thought was really cool. I wonder if they're going to do that with a few of the other Vice Stamp users, because most of them were reformed afterwards. He was just kind of a dick all the way through. So, but yeah, so I'm like I said, maybe Vice will get some kind of fire-based power-up to go alongside Iki's, and it'll be a connected thing. I don't know. We don't know yet. There hasn't been a listing for that yet, so we'll have to see what they do with it. So yeah, like I said, probably a good 10 out of 10. What did you guys think of the episode? Let me know in the comments below. Did you like it? Did you dislike it? Were you kind of in the middle on it? So coming up for reviews pretty soon. I'm gonna do Zenkaiger for 38 or 39, wherever we're at now. God, we're near the end of the show. I don't want to talk about that. I don't want to think of a world without Zenkaiger in my life. Which won't happen because Don Brothers is supposed to have at least Joran and Kaito in it for a while as well. So yeah, so that review coming out. I'm gonna watch Superhero Senki pretty soon. I'm waiting to see if Izu Subs or one of the other subbing groups is gonna be subbing it soon. I might watch it raw and just figure it out from context clues of their actions and stuff. But anyway, yeah. So I definitely want to review Superhero Senki. I did just finish Yogurt and loved it, so I might do a Toku Retro Rewind on that. I know it's not too retro, but still, technically, it would go in that same aesthetic, I guess you could say. Yeah. So just finished Yogurt. I did also watch Saikyo Strongest Battle, so I might do a video on that maybe. And I do still plan on doing a video on Jetman to go along with my Live Man video I did about old school Sentai and stuff. But yeah, let me know in the comments if there's something you guys want me to review, an item, a DX item you guys want me to review. I do plan on doing something with my Kuga article, doing a henshin on that. I know I did the review on it, but doing a henshin video with that. And pretty soon I should be getting my CSM style belt extender for the Revice driver, which I'll just use with any of my driver that is compatible with, because I don't care that the color matches. So I'm pretty happy about that. I'm not really going to review it because there's not much to review. It's just basically looks like the same DX belt, except it has basically like a backpack type strap in it that's adjustable, so you can make it fit you as an adult. But yeah, and again, if there's any pause in videos coming up soon, again, my family and I are in the midst of trying to sell our house and get into a new house. So if there's a pause, I do apologize on that, and I'll try to do some catch-up reviews or something like that to kind of get us back up to speed to where we're at. But I hope you guys enjoyed the review today. Thank you so much for subscribing, liking, sharing, commenting, all that good stuff. Really appreciate it. But until next time, stay hooked on henshins. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.